Glenavon has just lost 1-0 to Crusaders here at Mornview Park. Harry Murphy has kindly agreed to speak to us. Harry, what is your summation of the game?
Probably a wee bit of disappointment, in all honesty. I thought coming into the game, we knew it was going to be a tough game, don't get me wrong. Listen, Crusaders do what they do. I thought they defended very well, to be fair. Listen, they put us under a bit of pressure. I thought we actually started the game pretty well, to be honest. Had a few chances here and there. They probably thought the same. They had a few as well. It was tight enough. I thought we maybe just edged it early on. Listen, they got the goal. We're not going to make excuses. Listen, we probably thought we were very harshly done by for the free kick, but it doesn't matter. You give away the free kick, you have to set up and defend it properly, and we didn't, unfortunately. And listen, they took their chance, and then listen, you know how it goes whenever you're trying to get back into a game where Crusaders have the lead. It's a very difficult task. I thought they defended very well, which is all credit to them. We probably didn't create as much as we wanted to. Listen, we huffed and we puffed and we tried in the second half, but probably wasn't the prettiest game to watch. It was probably a bit scrappy, but overall a bit disappointed because we thought we should have got something out of the game coming into it. Obviously, after, listen, you lose the game, you get what you deserve, in my opinion, in football, and we probably just didn't do enough to get anything from it, and disappointing. But listen, we'll have to move on. We've been in a good run. It happens. You'll get off days. It's all about how you react now. You know what they say, the comeback should be greater than the setback. So we'll take that as a setback today. We'll take it on the chin. We'll learn from it, and we have a tough running. Don't get us wrong, we definitely have a tough running, but yeah, you have to fancy your chances in this league. Anything can happen, so we'll learn from this and we'll go again.
You said that Glenavon started the game well. What pleased you most about the team's first half display?
I don't think the first half in general was good. I think maybe just the first 5-10 was started well. I'm not too sure what minute we conceded at, to be honest, but I think just after we conceded it maybe rocked us a wee bit, which is it's disappointing because that was maybe a familiar story to Tuesday night against Larne. I think we started that game very well too, and we conceded and it rocked us a wee bit. So listen, we'll have to learn from that. I think it was a scrappy game overall, the whole 90 minutes in my opinion, but listen, that's all credit to Crusaders because they probably didn't let us play the way we wanted to play, and it happens. Listen, it's football. Like I said, we'll have to just dust ourselves down and go again and learn from it.
Were you not disappointed that Glenavon didn't score 1 or 2 goals in the first period?
I don't know. Listen, I think probably looking back on the overall game, of course you come out any game and you don't score, you're disappointed. The aim of the game's to score and not concede, and unfortunately we done the wrong end of that today. We didn't score and we conceded 1, and listen, I don't think Crusaders have many clear-cut chances, but they did have 1 and they took it, and that's all credit to them. We didn't really have many clear-cut chances, I don't think, but a good bit of the ball in the second half, and we'd probably just huffed and puffed knocking the door, but nothing really clear-cut in my opinion from us, and Crusaders defended the box well. And listen, we're a young squad, we've a good mix of experience in there, but we've a lot of young players, so it's maybe a wee bit of inexperience, a wee bit of naivety that we'll have to learn from. And if you want to listen, don't get me wrong, if you want to do things in this league you have to learn quickly, so hopefully we can do that moving into I think we've a wee break now, obviously with the Irish Cup and stuff coming up next week, so we'll dust ourselves down for the next league game and just try to get 3 points.
You mentioned about the free kick that led to Crusaders' goal. There was also an incident about 20 minutes earlier when David McDade was fouled, and some on the Glenavon bench obviously thought the foul had been committed inside the penalty area. Did you have a view of that?
Listen, it's hard for me to comment. Obviously I'm at the back and Davies at the other end of the pitch, but it was a bit of a weird one. Listen, Davies an honest player. He's went down in the box, he hasn't rolled, so I don't really know how it was gave a free kick on the edge of the box. Listen, being a referee's not an easy job, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't like to be one because it definitely isn't an easy job. It's an unforgiving job, but I think we were a bit disappointed we didn't get the free kick. Yes, there was another one even when Chris Alfreton. I thought there was a foul in the box, he didn't give it, Chris got up and it was the exact same foul outside the box and we got that as a free kick. So listen, it was frustrating, but you can't make excuses. Listen, people make mistakes, players make mistakes, staff make mistakes, referees make mistakes. They're only human, so it is what it is. We have to adapt in the game to things that don't go our way, and unfortunately we didn't do that for the goal. Listen, we felt hard done by. We thought probably at the time it was gave a free kick to us, and then within 5 seconds the decision was reversed and then Davy got booked and then we've conceded from the free kick. So there's no point making excuses. The free kick's been gave against us and we haven't defended it properly and we've got punished for it today, so you have to learn from things like that.
What did Paddy say to the players at half time?
we need to play more, and he was 100% right. It was a bit scrappy in the first half. I think you've seen that. Probably, like I said early on, we maybe edged the early stages. Once we conceded, then I think Crusaders were a bit stubborn and hard to play against, which is all credit to them. You know, when you get a lead, they defended it very well, and we probably played in the Crusaders' hands a wee bit. They probably made a wee bit of a scrap, which we maybe didn't cope as well as they did. And like I said, that's all respect to them. But he just said we need to get it down, we need to play a wee bit more. I think we did try to do that in the second half, but listen, it's not easy. It's not easy to get it down and just play, and whenever Crusaders are making it difficult for you. But I do think we'll have to more puffed, but we're probably, like I said, I'm a believer you get what you deserve in football, and we've came away with nothing, so just take it in the chin and we'll have to move on.
Will it be difficult for the players to lift themselves after the defeat today?
No, I don't think so. I hope not. If it is, that's a bad sign. Listen, you're going to lose games of football. Don't get me wrong. Every single person in that dressing room, staff and players included, are very disappointed. And we're frustrated today because we've got nothing from the game, and we feel like we should be getting things from games because we're on a good run, and we've a good squad, we've good players. But listen, if you get a setback, it's all about how you react to that. So we'll have to react to it well. It shouldn't be hard to get up. We've got a good break, so we'll have to take the break, dust ourselves down, train hard. Listen, the next game's a tough one. Every single game in this league's a tough one, and you have to be 100% up for every game, or you'll get nothing from them. So if you need motivation as a player, you're probably in the wrong league. You should be motivated enough just to want to do well for Glenavon. I think that's what I want to do, and I know that's what every single other person in the change room with me wants to do, along with staff included. So I don't think it'll be hard to get up and motivated for the next game because everyone wants to do well. So we just have to do that and see where it takes us. Hopefully it gives us 3 points.
Harry, you've been with us now for a month approximately. Have you enjoyed that period?
Yeah, I've loved every minute of it. I came here to play football. Thankfully, in the last few games, I've started the last 3 league games, which is it's a good thing for me personally. But listen, I want to win games. That's no secret. I want to. At a good start against Glenavon, won. Decent result on Tuesday night. Listen, we'll take the point. We probably thought we maybe could have got more from it, and then a disappointing day today as a team. But listen, that happens. It's football. I've loved every single minute of it. The fans have been very good. The board, the staff, players, everyone. I feel very welcome. I feel like I've been here longer than just a month, to be honest with you. So I'm really enjoying it. Long may it continue, and I just want to give 100% till the end of the season and see where we are by then.
How did the move to Mourneview Park come about?
I'm not really sure, to be honest. I think obviously Wendy at Glentoran obviously has previous connections to Glenavon, so I think he knows people and things like that. And listen, Paddy reached out to me himself. Glentoran said, listen, we have no problem with you speaking to him. So Paddy reached out to me himself, and he was keen to get me in, which was something that was big for me, because you want to come somewhere where you feel wanted. You want to come somewhere where you feel like the manager wants you in. And Paddy definitely gave me that. Paddy, he was definitely very keen, which was a positive for me. And listen, he kind of outlined to me what he wants from Glenavon between now and the end of the season, and it was everything that I want between now and the end of the season, so it was kind of a no-brainer for me. And listen, I definitely don't regret it at all. I'm really enjoying it here, but hopefully there's more good days to come. And listen, we'll take it day by day and just keep working hard, and as a team, hopefully we've some good days between now and the end of the season.
You've moved from a full-time to a part-time setup. Is that a difficult transition to make?
Can be. The only really difference for me is obviously training at night time. We're obviously at Glentoran, we're in the mornings, but listen, it's 3 nights a week, so you're only missing out on one day. But that one day I try to go up to the Oval and to keep myself in, about whether that's use a gym or get on the pitch or whatever it is. So I'm still trying to do the full-time environment, which I think will only benefit me in the long run. So it hasn't been, don't get me wrong, it hasn't been a negative for me at all, because I've really enjoyed it. Listen, they changed the night time's the only difference, but it is what it is. You're still training during the day, so it doesn't matter if it's the morning or night. So listen, I've enjoyed it. It hasn't been that big of an issue for me, in all honesty, because it's not a Tuesday, Thursday night match Saturday and you're going from Monday to Saturday. So it's been the same thing. I've been in Monday, Tuesday, Thursday with Glenavon, and then the Friday I go up to Glentoran, and if I can I try to do like a Monday or Tuesday morning with Glentoran. So if anything, I'm almost doing an extra session than what I was doing. So it's been no different, and the only difference has been the time frame that you're training, but that's no problem. Listen, if you want to be successful, you have to adapt to things, and that's just something I'll take in my stride, hopefully, and see where it takes us.
Now, your dad has Glenavon connections. He was a favourite of the supporters here in the 1990s. Did you talk to him before you made the decision to come to Glenavon?
Yeah, of course I did. I spoke to my whole family, not just my dad. I had probably not. I don't mean it in like a cocky way or a big headed way by any means, but I had a few options. And that was it was kind of just sitting down with my family, with Glentoran, and with the people close to me. And seeing what was best for me. And obviously, whenever I brought up Glenavon to my dad, regardless if I brought up Real Madrid, he would have said go to Glenavon. So it doesn't really matter. He was all for me coming here. And there was no other club he would want happier me be at in the league. And listen, that obviously his opinion had an influence in the decision, but it wasn't the overall riding decision. It was my own decision, and I wanted to come here because I want to do well for Glenavon. I didn't want to come here and be Darren Murphy's sons came to Glenavon, if you know what I mean. I want to come here and be Harry Murphy's playing for Glenavon. So listen, Dad, don't get me wrong, he's had a lot of good days here. I know he was very well thought of by the fans and the people around the club, and trust me, Glenavon's held very highly in Dad's heart, and he has a very soft spot for this place. He loves it here, but it was more so I wanted to be successful myself. I didn't want to come here living under Dad's shadow, if you know what I mean. I wanted to be here and be my own man, and Dad likes that. Dad lets me crack on. He comes to the odd game. He doesn't try to get himself too involved, which is good. But listen, he loves Glenavon, and if I can give half of probably what he gave to this club, then I think I'll be doing all right. So like I said, I just want to do as well as I can for Glenavon, and hope the supporters and the people around the club take to me as well as they did to him. But I want them to take to me for what I give, not for just being his son, if you know what I mean. So it's been a good start overall. Don't get me wrong, I'm really enjoying it, and I think the fans and the people around the club up to now have been very good with me. So long may that continue.
How big an influence has your dad and your mum been on your career so far?
Massive. Listen, don't get me wrong, Dad's won quite a few things, and he reminds me of that. So I'm still quite a way off him, and he reminds me you have to work hard to get medals, and ultimately that's what people play the game for. You want to play the game to be successful. You want to play the game to win. But not only, like you said, not only my dad's been a massive motivation to me. Whenever I was younger, my dad would have still been playing or managing, and it was my mum, and listen, my nanny as well. She can't go unnoticed. It was the two of them brought me to games. It was the two of them brought me to the training. It was the two of them came and watched every Saturday. Dad wouldn't be as involved in football as probably people would think, and that's the way he wants it. He just wants it like he just likes to take a back step and let me crack on. But he's a massive motivator for me. He's a massive inspiration for me. If anyone would ask me who's been your inspiration to play football, it would be my dad, of course. And I think it's the same for my brother as well. My brother he plays, and he wants to do the best he can, and we all want to do the best we can for the family. And listen, I know if I done well here, it would make my dad proud and the rest of the family proud, and that's the main thing. You want to make the people close to you and the people around you proud. So that's what I'm doing it for, not just myself, just for them people. So yeah, massive inspiration and motivation for me, my whole family, not just my dad.
Have you always played as a centre half?
No, actually. I kind of started well, I think everyone when you're younger you want to play up top and you want to score goals, and maybe you realise that maybe wasn't my game. And then I was always kind of big, so I was like, I'll give it a go in nets. And it was actually Dixie Robinson at Dungannon United Youth says, I don't want you in nets, I want you at the back. And ever since Dixie moved me to centre half, maybe age, I wouldn't even know, I'd be guessing maybe 10 possibly. Since then I've always been a centre half. Like I haven't really seen myself as anything else, which is probably good, because I know there's people obviously change positions as they grow older, but since a young age, since Dixie moved me to there, I've always really had that in my mind. That's all I want to do. Like I just want to be a good defender. I'm not too worried about scoring screamers. I'm more worried about keeping the ball out of our net. So I'm just happy defending, happy doing my bit for the team, and hopefully that can continue between now and the end of the season.
Now you're 21 years old. How difficult is it for a young player like yourself to break through at senior level in the Premiership?
Of course, it's massively difficult. You can't buy experience, and that's a big thing. You have to earn experience. So listen, it's all about a manager who trusts in the youth, and I think we'll have that here in abundance. You can see that the team, there's so many 21 and under. Listen, I'm not going to sit and name them all because I'll leave a few out and then they'll be annoyed, but there's too many to name. But wherever I've been lucky that we've kind of had a manager who's had trust in the younger players. And listen, that goes back to the days at Portadown, Dungannon Youth, Glentoran, and obviously now here. I've always had a kind of managers who've been good to the youth, which is good. That's a massive thing. If you have a manager who believes in the youth then you have a chance. Listen, if you have a manager who's set and experienced pros and things like that, it doesn't really matter how good you are. It all comes down to the opinion of the manager, and that's who you're trying to impress. So thankfully, I've had good managers up to now, including now a very good one. So listen, it is tough. Obviously, you're playing senior football in Northern Ireland. I think the league's on the rise. I think that's clear for everyone to see. I think the quality in the league's went up all through the league. So listen, you have to adapt, and if you want to play at this level, you have to play sometime. So the sooner you can play, the sooner you can gain that experience, the better. And that's what I'm trying to do. Listen, that was the whole point of me coming here, because I wanted to play. I wanted to gain more experience. Obviously, have a wee bit up to now. Listen, by no means am I the complete player. I know that, and I've so much still yet to learn. But that's one of the main reasons why I came here, because I wanted to learn under great people, and that's currently what I'm doing. So hopefully, long may that continue.
Harry, what do you do when you're not training? Are you studying at the moment?
No, because obviously being full-time with Glenavon, it does take up a lot of time. I think everyone kind of has a perception that full-time footballer in the Irish League, you're in at 10 o'clock and you're home by 1. Like, that's not the case at Glenavon. They try to do everything properly, which is good. I think you've kind of seen they've reaped the rewards at this season with how big the run they've went on, how well they've been doing recently. So you don't really have time to do anything else. Obviously now I've got a wee bit more spare time. I don't know, I might look at something like that, but it's kind of the same principle. Like, whenever you've been up there, you don't have the time that people maybe think you do. People maybe think it's just kind of like you've kind of got the easy job. Don't get me wrong, it's a lovely job. I'm in a very blessed position, but it's not easy. Like, it's not a quick in at 10 a.m. home at 1 a.m. by no means. So it is like a normal job hours wise, but obviously I know I'm in a very blessed position to be able to call football my job, and I'm very thankful for that. So unfortunately, no, I don't do studying or anything at the minute. I don't know if I might look into it, but I don't really know if the books or anything were for me.
Finally, our next game is at Loughgall in 10 days. What are your thoughts going into that match?
A really tough game. Listen, obviously Loughgall probably up to now haven't done as well as they would have wanted to this season, but I know Dean very well as a manager, and I know a good few of the players, and they'll fight until the very end. That's one thing that's for sure, and they deserve respect from every single team in the league, especially after what they done last year. I thought they were unbelievable last year, to be honest. I rate Dean very highly as a manager, and one thing they'll not do is down tools and think they're out of it. That's for sure. They're definitely not. Listen, you can't predict things in this league. So listen, a few results could go some way, and all of a sudden they're a lot closer than what people would have thought. So you can't down tool, or you can't think they'll down tools and just think it's going to be an easy one, because it's definitely not. They deserve respect from everyone in the league, including us. So listen, we know it's going to be a tough game, but it's a game we have to go into with 100% motivation and try match them, and hopefully come out the better end. That's the plan in every game. So regardless of who you're playing, if they're at the bottom of the table or at the top of the table, the mindset and the motivation has to be the same, and that's something that Paddy drills into us. You can't ever take your foot off the pedal. If you do slightly, probably witnessed it a bit there today, in all honesty, if you take your foot off the pedal slightly, you get punished for it, regardless of who you're playing. So it'll be the exact same against Loughgall. It'll be a tough challenge, there's no doubt about that. So listen, we'll take it head on and hopefully come out in the right side of it.
Harry, thanks very much for giving us so much of your time, and all the best for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much, no problem.